police stations nationwide, and from mainland 98.3 FM. We implore you to do better. We love you and we support you always.
The president must know that.
A very good evening to you. Welcome to the Situation Room, live on mainland 98.3 FM. I want to believe your day has been good. Well, today is Friday. What that means is this is going to be the last edition of the show for the week. Today is the 14th day of the month of March 2025. Well, we've gotten to the middle of, let me say almost the middle of the month. And by the time we're done with this month, we'll have started the last month of the first quarter of year 2025. So for those people that usually pay attention to how the year is moving fast, I don't know what you want to say about 2025. For 2024, a lot of people are like, oh, the year is super fast. I think 2025 is probably the fastest we've had in a very long time. I mean, let's start from how January actually I just rolled over real quick. Some people have not even said Happy New Year. We started saying Happy New Month. We've got into February. Before we could say Jack Robinson, it's March already. We're almost in the middle of March. Before you know what's happening, you get into April. We'll get into May. Before you know what's happening, we'll get into the Ember month. Then we'll get into 2026. You know what that means. It's pure politics from there till all the way down to November 2027. So you probably be wondering what's happening in November 2027. Remember, it was November 2023 that we had the off-cycle elections in Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi. So the cycle continues. So when we have the general election in February and March, we would have those three governors' elections in November. I think 2023 was 11th of November. Yes, I remember we covered it exclusively. And it's still going to be the same thing. So in case you're following political activities in Nigeria and you're thinking, oh, 2027 is far. Why are we discussing 2027 now? And we've not even finished 2025. Don't worry. For the people that are deeply interested or involved in the election, it's a business. It's a way of life. They wake up, they sleep politics. You see this person today aligning with this person. Yesterday, the Labour Party presidential candidate for 2023 election, the former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Gergerobi, was in Bauchi State for a meeting with the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, His Excellency Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State. And a lot of people are asking, would the PDP candidate, the former Vice President, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, is he decamping or is he leaving the PDP? Is he going to SDP? Will Peter Obi go back to the PDP? A lot of questions is being asked, especially on the back of events that had gone on the entire week. Remember on Monday, the former FCT minister and immediate past governor of Kaduna State announced his resignation of his party, the party he joined to form. In fact, he was part of the people that signed APC into existence. Well, he said he's leaving the party because the party lacks internal democracy. He also said that the APC had left him behind, so he's also leaving the APC, and immediately announced that he's switching his membership to the Social Democratic Party. And then a lot of people also started, displaying public alignment. The former Minister of Sports under the first term of former President Muhammadu Buhari, that's Barrister Solomon Dalong, he also said he's joining the SDP. Former senators, especially people that have been in political wilderness for a very long time. Well, so people are asking, when you say there's going to be a coalition, what exactly is the essence of the coalition? Is it supposed to be a marriage of convenience, or you think it's for the goodwill of Nigerians, as all of them are saying, oh, let us rescue the APC, let us rescue Nigerians from the APC. It's only a coalition that can take Nigerians away from the suffering of the APC. It is this is that. And the people keep asking, Were you guys not part of the APC? Solomon Dalung was a member of the APC when he served as Minister for Sport. After 4 years, he was not reassigned and he went to contest for House of Representatives from the minister. He still lost his election. Malam Nasir El-Rufai was the people that pushed for a southern presidency that led to the emergence of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In fact, all of the videos of Buga, when they were chilling in London after the election before the swearing, Malam Nasir El-Rufai was there standing beside the president-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So the question again is this. Malam Nasir El-Rufai's son is serving in the House of Representatives representing Kaduna North Federal Constituency, the Chairman House Committee on Banking, on the platform of the APC. And a lot of people are asking. The name of Malam Nasir El-Rufai was actually brought to the Senate for screening to be a federal minister. If he had been screened on to be a minister, perhaps if he's been made the minister of power, or maybe one of the leading ministries in Nigeria, would he be coming to say that his party lacks internal democracy? A lot of questions have been asked, especially since he's been out and out on the All Progressive Congress. Well, trust the people that are, born with permutations and calculations and, all of the things are flying out. Oh, if this person joins this person, oh, this party will have these numbers. Oh, the PDP has 6.9, the Labour Party has 6.1. What if Peter Obi and Atiku joins on the same ticket? Oh, they will have 14 million. And a lot of people already said, hey, it is not going to be business as usual. As we speak, the APC has almost 70 senators, almost 200 House of Reps members. They have about 23 state governors as we speak, and they have 47 ministers. You want to assume that all of them are members of the APC, right? Except, of course, you're considering the immediate past governor of Rivers State, the FCT minister, Barrister Nyesom. A lot of people are saying he's doing APPDP or he's doing PDAPC because he's one leg in the APC and it seems his body is still in the PDP. But the next couple of weeks would also tell. You're welcome to the Situation Room. If you're meeting me for the very first time, my name is 𝐴광 𝐴광, and it's always a pleasure when we get to do this together every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. 90 straight minutes of conversation around politics, leadership, accountability, especially as we constantly demand for dividends of democracy for the people that swore to provide same for us. Once again, you're welcome to the show. Today is Friday, and you know what that means. It is the Town Hall edition of the program. Well, we started this old Town Hall series in December, and that's on the back of the fact that all through Mondays to Thursdays, we're always having guest season analysts that always come down to break conversations for us. And in the process of doing that, we don't often have enough time, to take your comments and then you take your contributions as well. So I always say, except on special occasions when we have guests on Fridays. I think the only time I've broken the town hall meeting on Friday was when I had Ʞᴟ join me on the show. Of course, we had to create that space, to have him join us. But we've always had that series of conversation. So we'll have a review of everything we've talked about in the course of the week. And then we introduce one new topic on Friday. Then we'll open the phone lines. You already know the phone lines. If you don't, let me give it to you again. 0913-600-0410. Let me take the number again. 0913-600-0410. Well, we're streaming live on Facebook as well. So you can go on Facebook and on YouTube, facebook.com/mainland 98.3 FM. You can drop your comment. We'll actually read your comment and I will appeal to you to also follow us so that we can follow you back. Let's build our social media community. Once again, you're welcome. Well, before we open it up, today is the birthday of our Oga. Yes, the head of operations, the manager of the station. Yes, that's Sɪᴛᴜᴛ. And then, despite the Ramadan and all of that, there's still a lot of jiggy going on in the office. Don't worry. If you can't eat it, we eat the food on your behalf. Then we'll wait for after Ramadan to do the party. Happy birthday to you, Sɪᴛᴜᴛ. Well, Sɪᴛᴜᴛ is one man that's beyond, conversation around getting job done in the office. He's a man that is amazingly intelligent. And I'm not surprised. I also had the privilege of spending some time at some point in my life with my maternal grandmother. And sometimes, she's been dead for more than 15 years or thereabouts now. But there are times that I'm just sitting somewhere and then the echoes of some of the things she had said to me as a little kid still continue to ring. I think the only thing I almost don't like about was the fact that she was forcing me to change from being left-handed to right hand. That's the only thing I don't like about my late grandmother, of course, of blessed memory. But each time we have a conversation in the office off work, Side Forward speaks to me like someone that understands how to live a simple life, you know. And it's always a pleasure each time we have those. There are very rare moments in the office when we don't talk about politics or the problems of Nigeria. You know, it just talks about life, how you should take things easy, how you don't have to put all of the problems. And he gave us a code in the office, code 101. Make sure you don't die. Whatever it is you do, make sure you stay alive. And hey, it's a guiding code for me. And of course, happy birthday to you, Side Forward. It's always a pleasure to have you, lead. And I've always said it. The creatives are set of the most difficult people to lead. I mean, sometimes you just feel like, you know what? I mean, it's my intellectual that is being used here, even though it's being paid for. But Side Forward had brought some amazing level of coordination. And then, everyone is Joland 98.3 FM. We call him Figo. He's an active footballer, retired but not tired. So let's get straight off to the show to talk to us today. Let's relax. We'll get the conversation up. On Monday, I had the executive director of the Nigerian, the civil liberty organizations in Nigeria, Comrade Tᴏɪᴜnᴜ, joined me on the show, and then we talked about three things. First off, we talked about the CSOs and the CLOs, and I asked him a question. They are supposed to be part of the pressure group to help our democracy to grow and get solid. But have the CSOs and the CLOs in Nigeria, have they been captured? It looks like it's only the Nigerian Labour Congress that we always face when we need to ask government questions. What happens to the pressure group? We talked about that. Secondly, we also talked about the issue of the 10th Assembly under our distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, the entire Natasha Akpoti drama, back and forth, the disgrace in quotes, maybe not disgrace, maybe how the reputation of the 10th Assembly had been affected with all of these allegations of sexual harassment by the senator representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, now suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. We talked about that also. And I also asked him, what exactly can we do to bring a lasting peace to all of the fiasco and drama and chaos going on in Rivers State? Today is Wike, tomorrow is Fubara, next is Right Honorable Martin Damoewile. We don't even know who is in charge in the state. It's been from one problem to the other. On Tuesday, I had the convener of the Ogun West Initiative join me on the show, and we talked about zoning, the rationale behind zoning and development, and we talked about the governorship agenda of Ogun West. Ogun West Senatorial District had never produced a governor in that state, despite this, in almost 49 or 50 years of the state. So the question is this: what have they been doing that have been denying them the rights or the opportunity of producing a governor? And what are they planning to do differently as, Governor Dapo Abiodun moves towards the end of his second term and his tenure as a governor? 2027, there's also going to be election in Ogun State. That's what we talked about on Tuesday. Mr. Miwadeyemi, the chief political editor of Ghana newspaper, was my guest yesterday. And we also touched a little of the Senate, but we talked more of the coalition. What exactly is forming the push for a coalition? Is this because it's a southern presidency under administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari? Were there agitations for a coalition? Were things done differently? Were there not allegations of, appointments being favored one part of the country, and it's been alleged right now under the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as well? Why were there no voices, talking about coalition, talking about not wanting Buhari to run for second term? Why is it Tinubu this time around? Or perhaps there's a good justification or a clear need for us to have a change in guard, a change in leadership in this country. How have things gone from $400 to $400 to a naira to almost 1,600 naira? Wow. From 200 naira, 180 per liter of petrol. At some point when it was 1,300 naira. But of course, thank God for the competition right now. It's coming down little by little. The NNPC Limited and Dangote Refinery seems to be going neck to neck. I mean, I like it. If the neck to neck means the price of petrol will continue to come down in Nigeria, let them continue to go neck to neck. Both of them are institutions, they cannot kill themselves. So I like the competition, by the way. I was reading earlier today, but we're still waiting for the Dangote group to bring out a statement that the landing cost of petrol has been reduced further down. Reduce it. Reduce it as long as people can afford to buy petrol, because what I was buying for 15,000 naira is what I'm buying for, I think, 11,000 plus now. It's sweeting me. My generator is now getting full. So there's enough time. So I mean, that's exactly what happens when you when you, how do I put it now, when you bring deregulation into the market. The market forces control the price. So if you're selling at 1,000 naira and somebody's selling for 700 naira and the quality is the same thing, why will I go and buy 1,000 naira? I will buy 700 naira. It's simple. So you know that the only reason why you can sell is to also bring your own down to 700 or even raise the competition further and drop it to 680. It's simple. So let the market forces continue to force themselves to bring the prices down so the Nigerians can have some breathing space. So those are the things we've talked about in the course of the week, and it's now time for you to join the conversation. On the show today, the governor of Rivers State had written another letter informing the Rivers State House of Assembly that next week Wednesday, or any Wednesday in the month of March, there are only 2 Wednesdays left in the month of March, that he will be available to present or to represent the 2025 appropriation bill to the floor of the House. Remember, on the 2nd of January 2025, Governor Sɪᴛᴜᴜ signed 1.1 trillion naira budget for Rivers State into law. But the Supreme Court judgment of February 28, 2025 invalidated all of that entire process by saying 4 members in an house of 31 members cannot sit and debate a budget. It is not done anywhere. And if you also look at the way budgets are meant to be presented, it is the Attorney General of the state and the Commissioner for Finance that are supposed to come and defend a budget. But as it is now, all of the commissioners screened are supposed to be out of office now, because the members that screened them are not supposed to be the ones to screen them. You understand? So the breakdown of that judgment means that the appointment that the governor have made in terms of the appointment to ministries, that's the commissioners, to departments, to agencies, any appointment that has to go through the screening on the floor of the House is now null and void. I remember 2 weeks ago on Friday, the Commissioner for Information in Rivers State was on the show with me, Honorable John Johnson, and then he was talking about the fact that, we are still in charge. Please don't address me as former Commissioner for Information. And I said, okay, we maintain the status quo until anything changes. So the question is this: is there a validity for the governor to present the budget when there are no commissioners on seats? A lot of questions need to be asked. In the case of Rivers State, is this a godfather situation or is a total control? The day before yesterday, the FCT minister and the immediate past governor of Rivers State, Sɪᴛᴜᴜ, was on TV where he had a media parley, and he was in his usual brash and arrogant and intimidating form. When he was asked what could bring peace to Rivers State, he said there can't be peace until the right things are done. He said peace is when you do the right things. Interesting. Perhaps talking about a man that had arrogated so much power and resources of the state to himself, and at will, at caprices, he says if the governor is impeached, nothing would happen. Interesting times. He also talked about the fact that the Ijaw nation should stop overrating themselves, that without them, Rivers can produce governor. Interesting conversation we had. I was watching the interview, but of course I had to compare for the show. So later in the night, I went through the entire interview again, and I'm like, hold up. If Wike can be talking like this as an FCT minister, how was he acting when he was a governor? When he was a governor, how was he acting when he was a governor? I pitied some of our senior colleagues that was under the tree during that interview. It felt like I was talking to his mates. it's a crazy space, you know. But then the work has to be done. I found out that about 6 million is being paid for every of those media palace. So if you insult the governor, you walk away, your employer will sack you. So you have to just stay there and try to contain whatever insult that is being thrown at you for the period of the interview. Let me allow you to join the conversation. You can also drop your message on facebook.com/Mela98.3 FM. My phone lines are buzzing already. Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello? Okay, just take it easy. In case you're trying to reach us there, it's not connecting, you can drop your comment on Facebook. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
You're welcome.
This is Olaiwola.
Mr. Olaiwola, good to have you on the show.
You see, let me talk about the River State.
Please go on.
The River State issue. Now we understand the theory of separation of power and check and balancing. You know, other states where the governor are overriding them and giving them financing, and all the House of Assembly cannot even check the governor. At this time now, River State now, the governor did not finance the house, and they can go extra mile to check meetings. If all this kind of division happen within all the states, all the governors that all of us are looking onto like a god, we now reducing their power. The second part of it is that I want to talk about the sexual harassment concerning the senator, but we are looking at the integrity of the woman. We are looking at it. We are bringing them from celebrity background who have not have a moral justification in the first place, and that is where the issue comes from. If the woman that are occupy the position of a corporate organization, we know how to address in the Congress or the House of.
Hello, Mr. Olaiwola. Okay, just because today is Friday, I can pick your call if you call back. I've got some few, and the messages are pouring in on Facebook. I can see that a lot of people are struggling to get through via the phone lines, but I'll pick a lot of calls.
Good evening,
You're welcome, Engineer Nii.
Good evening. You are left-handed. That's why you are very, very brilliant. Congratulations to Fado.
Thank you.
I appreciate this and I commend him for his astute leadership. Continue to move the company forward and even the management staff.
Amen.
Amen. In Jesus' name. Coming to, you see, we are talking of River State and also the coalition. The two come together. Even Natasha issue, all them come together. Natasha issue, you hear the section where Akpabio was asking, saying the prayer, and the members were saying nay when he wanted to say yea. So you know what money can not do, more money can do it. And the same thing is what is playing out in River State, where Mr. Wike was saying that Fubara thought that he will win the election, he will win the case at the Supreme Court. So he removed the chief of his village. So he has to do all his coup to make sure that the case comes to his favor. So we match the two together. You can see the picture of Nigeria of today. So you can imagine that there is need for that coalition and marrying all the events together. If you understand what I'm saying, there is a strong need for that coalition, and consensus building is what is necessary. You know what is that's what the APC did against Jonathan at that time. If I tell you that I'm in the picture, you won't believe. And that is very, very necessary today. All your money has been taxed. What money cannot do, more money can do it. That is Nigeria of today.
Thank you, Engineer.
Now you know what Obasanjo himself is saying, that we are contracts are being awarded without due process. Is that a Nigeria where all of us are praying for?
Thank you.
They are talking of integrity of that lady.
Thank you, Engineer.
Somebody is using his mind
Thank you. I understand that today is Friday, but of course, I would have to accommodate as much calls as we can. So please, when the thank you start coming in, please let us wrap it up so that we don't have to cut you off the line. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, me.
You're welcome.
Please, I want to use this message from Agbada Joshua. I want to congratulate Mr. Fuad. And by the special grace of God, he will continue to work stronger.
Thank you.
Because he has been like a voice to the voiceless. Because sometimes when we listen to him analyzing Nigerian politics, even when everything seems so hopeless, it seems there is a light that will shine at the end of the tunnel. Because when we look at the way things are going, it seems that we are driving to nowhere. But when we see the passion that Fuad using, analyzing and saying the truth, saying exactly the way it is, without thinking of who's might be God along the line, then it gives you hope that there are people that will always stand for imagine together country. Who are the people that are going to perform the electoral? Is it not the same set of senators or yes member that will say on your mandate will start? Okay, look at what's even happening. Look at even what is happening today because of Natasha case. The cause of even when they were not, nobody's even doubting the power. I mean, the way the leadership of Senate President, they are saying the vote of confidence. And that means something has been wrong somewhere. So it goes to show that it's all about what money cannot do. More money, because ordinarily, Senate President is supposed to not be in the Senate today because we know he purchased form for presidency. How come? After losing out, they granted him the something for Senate, which is wrong. So if we don't do something today to reform the electoral act in order to vote this set of people out by the people's voice, then it means, if you like, the president can tell his one of his appointees to announce him as the winner. If you feel aggrieved, you have to go to court. And if you go to court, you know what happens.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
The result is better. It can better be guessed right.
Thank you. Thank you very much. 0913-600-0410. I'll pick your calls. Then we'll stop over on Facebook. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Gwen.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Desmond on the line.
Good to have you, Mr. Desmond.
I want to greet our Fuad. Happy birthday. Hello?
We are with you, Mr. Desmond.
I wish Mr. Fuad happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Me, I don't have any more to talk. I was forced to listen to Wiki. He was just talking rubbish, opening his mouth, telling the whole government is stupid. I couldn't withstand it. I just turned off my radio off. God day. Thank you very much, Margaret.
Thank you very much and have a beautiful weekend. 0913-600-0410. It is the Friday edition of the Situation Room live on Mainland 98.3 FM. And we're just having a review of everything we've done in the course of the week. Because we couldn't pick the messages we couldn't read, I will take all of them today, which is Friday. That's why I would always call this one the Town Hall edition of the show for the week. So I'm inviting you to join us again. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, boy.
I know you can call. You can use this one. Call for her today. Today is his birthday.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is Madam Bello. I am calling from the United Kingdom of Italy.
Oh yeah, good to have you join us, Madam Bello.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, congratulations to Fuad, and you will continue to walk in the light of God, and knowledge will never go far away from you.
Amen.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want any Nigerian to forget about either electoral form or not electoral form. The electoral form was not there when our current president became a president. It wasn't there when Buhari became a president. By the grace of God, whatsoever that we take individually as a Nigerian, we are going to stand to make sure that the right thing is done this time around. That you forget about that. Let us come out now and cast our vote for any leader of our choice, because we want the Nigerian of our dream, not the Nigerian of this current condition that we are in prison now. So we should come up and forget about the electoral form that we are not, whatever it is we are going to give. Thank you very much. And God bless you.
Thank you very much, Malam Bello. It looks like nobody's even talking of electoral reforms now. It looks like everybody's just, getting ready for the battle ahead. Because, like I said, we can't stay here and complain and lament. The people that wants to get involved with the battle of 2027, they start buying up the arsenals. Hello, good evening, Pastor Ambrose.
Oh, well, good evening.
You're welcome.
My worry this evening is, okay, what? Happy birthday. Oh.
Thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
As people are looking up to you, you will not disappoint them.
Amen.
You will see your children, oh, that be well with you in Jesus' name. Well, my worry is each time Mr. President is talking, and he knows he's not saying the truth, he looks so serious, as if he's talking to children who don't know anything. Look, when he was talking of the rule of law, that it was the rule of law that brought him. And look at Peter Obi, where Bala Mohammed said is the greatest opposition leader. Yes. And you see, some people will come and tell you that Peter Obi is nothing. A man who garnered 6.something million votes, less than 6 months, you say it's nothing. Okay, if he had agents all over, there is no way that election would have been manipulated, allegedly. Okay, this president also told us that if he wants our children, we will go die. Okay, as we are talking now, drugs are out of reach. There is this test kit for diabetic patients that we used to use to check our sugar level. We used to buy 3,000 before. It's 21,000 now. Food, everything is expensive. You are now telling us that you are building future. You see, every time you be telling us, but you built a vice president's house for 21 billion. The senators are living in luxury. You are distributing money to governors and all the agencies of government. Nigerians are suffering. We have not seen any form of tight belting in the executive, the legislature, and even the judiciary. Okay, this man should stop telling us what we know. He's not telling us the truth. I don't know if I told you, I have a diabetes. A lady now in my area that the daughter has a problem. Every week, 170,000. Federal government announced the other day that there is dialysis in FMC Abeokuta, FMC Bukemeta, Lut. The people went there, no answer. They will announce programs on radio, nothing, and nobody to monitor them. Okay, we are just. These things are just sugarcoated. I don't know where we are heading to. Honestly, good evening.
Thank you very much, Pastor Ambrose. 0913-600-0410. Well, I would also read some messages side by side, the calls that are coming in. Let me talk to Mr. Dion.
Oh, well, hallelujah.
I see you've been trying since.
Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. Good to have you join us on the show today.
I like your words. May you live long.
Amen.
To celebrate a more birthday, good health, and prosperity.
Amen.
Yeah. Just like somebody was commenting on Natasha, for instance. I just took over from there. Both this man, the Senate President, and Natasha, they are not my favorite. And if I have my way, the two of them are not suitable for public office at all. The two of them, with their background so far, that is known to everybody, the two of them are not suitable to hold public office. Then you look at the whole scenario whereby it's a situation whereby they say wrong doesn't make it a right. We know that you are fighting for something, for your suspension. You went to court here, and then going to United Nations, International Parliamentary Organization, to go and disgrace your country. It is the greatest
act of rebellion to the country that you are representing. He's not representing herself alone. She's a diplomat. Anybody attending that is having diplomatic passport. Is representing Nigeria there. And you could go and open up your mouth and say what she said. In fact, that act is completely condemnable, and in civilized countries, when she comes back, security people will take her and go and do the needful about her. That is how it is done abroad. But Nigeria is a banana republic. People do not know the condition of service in public office. They get themselves there and start misbehaving. It's an act of gross misbehavior, such as the Senate President Fabio is doing. It's an act of misbehavior, the two of them. And we just have to tolerate them and make sure they finish their 4 years and leave the offices. They go to River State. We are accusing some scholars who are accusing UK for building apartments for judges in Abuja. Lo and behold, 2 days ago, Fubara was commissioning houses, quarters for judges in River State. And lo and behold, no caller, no media has said anything wrong about that action. Don't you mean that we are supporting one side, we are being partisan? If you say it's not to build houses for judges in Abuja, but you will go to build houses for judges in Rivers.
Mr. Adio.
So I'm begging the media to please take note and do the needful.
Thank you very much. So let me tell you how media narrative works. I mean, to the little of my knowledge, the few days I've been on this space, you know, the fact that you probably didn't catch the conversation when it was going on does not mean the media didn't talk about it. That's what everybody knows. Yesterday, we talked about how the politicians are getting too involved with the judiciary. Oh, today they are buying cars for the judges. Tomorrow they are building quarters for the judges. Today they are extending the retirement age of the judges. Next tomorrow they are increasing the salaries of the judges by 300%. And they were asking, should we set up an independent panel that will be involved with the salaries and the welfare of the judges so that it doesn't come directly from the executive? It's very simple. In as much as people want to say, oh, the judges are this and that, the executive is a different this and that, who pays the piper has a good chance of dictating the tune. I'm not insinuating anything. I'm just saying, if the executive approves the retirement age of the judges, if the executive approves, based on nomination of the Chief Justice of the Federation, if the executive chooses who becomes the umpire of an election that executive will be participating in, can we exactly say that these people can be as clean as they should be? It's very simple. They brought your name to me, I screened you in, and you are coordinating an election that I'm participating and as one that approved your employment. It's difficult. So should we have a statutory body that will be responsible for the screening and the appointment of the INEC chairman? Should we also look at a statutory body, maybe retired chief justices or something, that will be in charge of the salaries of the judges and then the appointment of the justices, so that we don't have a case of, oh, I bought you a car, I built you new apartments, so when I need a favor also, I can knock on your door. It's simple. That's what we talked about yesterday. So the fact that you didn't catch the conversation doesn't mean the media didn't talk about it. So let's get on with this one. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm very well, and you?
Yeah. Chooks calling from Maja.
Mr. Chooks, good to have you on the show today.
Yeah. Let me start from where the last caller from the first one called. Really, the issue is so tense, and we need to take a drastic action. Not forgetting our main man, every time, Sunday, Saturday, celebrating his birthday. But his birthday cannot be realized if the purpose of our calling is not realized. Some of us, every day is our birthday, our own life. if we don't achieve in a day, that bad day is not done. So if the calculation is not achieved, maybe the bad day is good. It's good, and it will be good, inshallah. So what I'm saying is the matter of rivers, we have seen it, the ants that are behind the scene. Today, let me tell you, from another radio station, 2 people committed suicide. Go and check it on the media.
Yeah, it's on the news.
Voluntarily, and more is still coming. The government is still grappling to know the cause. The situation is so serious. And my son, every time they come, they say their mates withdraw from school. They say they cannot cope in the school again. One today, one tomorrow, one next tomorrow. Before God and man, I had an off today. I was looking down. 2 girls, mates of my children, came to fetch water in my compound. They dropped. They had to drop. You can verify it. They could not go for jump. They could not go for wire. They could not go for anything.
Not because they didn't want to, but because they couldn't afford it, right?
I'm telling you the truth of the matter. The parents, they were accosting me anything I can use. This year, they missed last year. For this year, I'm just throwing it open. For, not that I won't give them, not that I won't provide, but so that you will know that I'm saying the truth. If you want to come in for this year for them, I don't want to be involved. I will do my own personally. But I will make you up. That's how situation is. It is so terrible. I'm telling you, the opposition, the most potent voice of opposition that we have now is this man from Kaduna. I'm not a fan, but we have been clamoring that we want opposition. We want opposition. All these opposition, they are collecting, allegedly collecting money, doing that. And in politics, the more the merrier. It's a game of numbers. And especially my brothers from the East, they will not say he is against them. He's this, is that, is that. Can he be worse than what we are facing now? Than the people we are facing that Obasanjo described in his book. Okoyemi is a fool for thought. I beg you. One person fell inside a well. The other one fell inside Tᴜɪ̀nᴜ bridge. More is yet to come. Maybe our friends, maybe they cannot provide for their children school fees. I've never seen this. About 50-something years I've been in this Nigeria. And to destroy everything, we cannot go to the abroad. Trump is dealing with them seriously.
Thank you.
2 people in my area, in my street now, they are creating problems for us. They don't come from the abroad. They want to implement the abroad issue.
Thank you very much. Well, I was having a conversation with a very old friend of mine. We've lost contact for a while, so I think over the weekend, if a mutual friend is getting married, so he set up a WhatsApp group and then we reconnected from there. And we're having a conversation. And He's a Muslim, so he's observing the Ramadan. And so he was saying, oh, we're just having just old time conversation. And he said something that touched me. He said, if every Nigerian can, be as clean as they always are during the month of Ramadan and during the month of Lent, that things will get better. And I said, what does it mean? He said, during the month of Ramadan or during the Lent period, the Nigerians are always very, holy. They abstain from this. They don't drink. They don't do this. And they give. They do a lot of giving. So I asked him, I said, do politicians steal during Ramadan? He said he does not know. I said, during the Lent period, do politicians steal as well? He said he does not know. I said, so until he confirms that, I can bring up that conversation. And so, when I saw the story of the person that, jumped into the Tᴏɪᴛᴛᴇʀ bridge and, died, one of the things that came to my mind is, first off, I think suicide is not the way out. It's wickedness on the part of the people you are leaving behind. Somebody made a post on one of the social media spaces, I think earlier in the week, and then she said one of the most difficult times of her life that even made her to fail a session or a semester in school was when she got into her room and then she saw her roommates. She had hung herself. And so the fact that she had to run around to call the security to come and bring her down, she had to be the one to inform her parents that she had to see a therapist 3 times, and it affected her whole semester in school. So when people go through the route of suicide, I understand the situation. I mean, it's tough. It's a crazy space to be right now in this country. Some of us that are even, trying to, appear good, everyone's got the issues that they are dealing with. But when you make that ultimate decision, on the temporary, you think you've left yourself, you've forgotten all of the pains in the world. But imagine a man with 4 children and a wife. You have debts that you've not paid, and then you committed suicide. You've left your wife with the pain of the fact that her husband committed suicide. That alone is a pain she would live with for the rest of her life. Then the fact that 2 people's responsibility automatically becomes 1 person's responsibility. 4 children should have to deal with all of that. It's a tough time. You committed suicide, you left your parents behind, your loved ones, your friends, your relatives. Everyone is thrown into mourning. I think suicide is, like I said, it's tough. You look around and then you just feel like, oh, the entire world has ended. When you listen to some other people's stories, then you understand that your own problem is somebody's prayer point. At least you are eating only once a day. Some people are praying to even have that one to eat. You are eating twice a day. You are praying that God should give you 3 times. Some people are even looking for 1 to eat. I understand that it could be tough. I mean, suicide is tell you it go better. This Nigeria will go make calm. We have this strong spirit to get to where the light is. Why don't you just put it at the start of the tunnel and make life easy for me? So when people go through all of those pains, I understand it could be tough. Injustice, some people have been duped, and some people have been cheated on of their properties, a lot of situations. But when you make that ultimate decision, you have to consider the hundreds of thousands of people that you're leaving behind. Maybe you don't have that much people around you. Maybe just your friends, your relatives, your family members. You put them in pains forever. It's tough. I understand the economy is crazy. People are running mad. And I always say it. A typical Nigerian is just the next cheat in waiting. A typical Nigerian is the next dubious person in waiting. Almost everybody is looking for a way to cheat the other person. Almost everybody is looking for a way to milk from the other person. Because I'm always asking, why would you import fake baby food, infant food? Are you not evil? You bring in fake infant food. You are selling expired infant food. You change the expiry date, put another one on it. For infants, for children. Are you not evil? You are bringing in fake drug. Look at the campaign that INEC has been doing in the last 3 weeks or 3 months or thereabouts. Over 80 people have been reportedly arrested. And they would have to face the music. Loads of containers are being moved out of market in Aba, in Lagos on weekly basis. Fake drugs, expired drugs. So imagine somebody that is battling to live, and then they will still look at their hard-earned money to go and buy fake drugs. Are you not evil? You are selling fake items for the price of the original, and you say that it's the government that is at fault. Have you questioned your patriotism? Something as little as seeing a phone on the ground, and then the owner keeps calling you, keeps begging you. Do you know how expensive phones are right now? And then you switch off the phone, you throw away the SIM, and then you start using the phone. And then you pick that same phone to tweet that the government is bad. You're worse. Sometimes when I look at the conversation around patriotism, I just look at all of us that we're all lying to ourselves. All of us are just looking for the first opportunity to get to that cookie jar, and then we'll fetch what we need to fetch out of it. The politicians that are everywhere, are they ghosts? Are they not your uncles? Are they not your aunties? Are they not your fathers? Are they not your church members? Are they not the people you pray in the mosque together? Do you tell them the truth when you see them? As a religious leader, a civil servant comes to pay an outrageous amount of money in the name of tithes, and he did not ask. I came to pay tithe of 10 million as a civil servant. What did I do to raise 100 million? But I'll collect it. So when we talk about patriotism, what is the percentage of the political class we have in this country? They are less than 2% of the entire country's population. Yes, we're about 230 million. We don't have up to 2.3 million active politicians in this country. Break it down. We have 109 in the Senate, 360 in the reps. How many state houses of assembly? We have 36 governors, 36 deputy governors. 36 governors, and then the FCT minister. You have a president and a vice president. Party ESCOs at the different state level, opinion leaders. We don't have up to 3 million active politicians in this country, and we keep putting all of our problems on them. But then you and I are here. You are importing fake petrol, and it's damaging the engines of people that are struggling to live, and you are blaming the government. Ask yourself. You open a pure water factory, a bottled water factory with a fake NAFDAC number, and you are selling water for people in the most unhealthy environment. You are packaging that water and selling it to people, and you say the government is at fault. You are the problem. You're a thief. You're just a bloody criminal. You're just a bloody criminal. So if you talk about the issue of patriotism, it goes beyond putting your hand on your chest during the national anthem or hanging the president frame in your office. And what do you do in your own little space to make this country better? If you have the opportunity to steal, it's not about whether you will steal. It's about how much will you steal. How much is enough for you? All of these politicians, they don't stay in isolation. They have friends that you know. Some of them are fathers to your friends. What do you tell them? Some of the people that were chanting, once they get an appointment, they have table manners. You don't see them rant on social media anymore. They will now want you to understand that governance is not easy because you are now on the table. You're observing table manners. Let me read your messages on Facebook. Let's suspend the calls for now. There's a lot to read here, and I hope I'll be able to undo some of these things. I don't know. It just gets to me when we choose to, not to be sincere with ourselves. Please, I beg you, if you're listening to me today and you're having suicidal thoughts, please bury it. Just bury it. Some people just give up when they are so close. Some people walk away when they are so close. It's just like you're digging. You don't know, maybe the next dig you will make, you will hit gold, but you just stop and then you walk away. Then somebody just comes and do less to nothing, and then the life is better. I understand that the times are tough. People are struggling to feed, but please stay alive. Just stay alive. Okay, on Facebook, Solomon Achogba says, hearty congratulations to Said Fuad. Though Fubara's emergence is a product of Wike's evil, people saying he should go and beg the House of Assembly members who shamelessly denied their open declaration of defection. I may have forgotten the real issues of how a former governor wants to control everything in the state, including the state resources, which is the main issue. We heard, aside all these boys forced on the governor, he gave instruction of the percentage of how allocations should be shared. On Atacha's case, if she has evidence, she can go to anywhere and all out to amplify her grievances and expression. She's not against Nigeria as a country or the institution of the Senate, but the president of the Senate and other unfortunate senators. Obasanjo has stated the obvious. Anyone can say whatever they want. He can never suffer from this government policy like the callers who are against him. Okay, as for Wike's media chat, those journalists, regardless of how much or amount paid by the media houses, should go and have a deep reflection. Aside every other dirty utterances of Wike, look at the way he addressed them. Okay, war and crises are known to be triggered by words. Any day Wike, who now speaks with more power than the commander-in-chief, he can now call him to order because of 2027 re-election. Journalists involved will go down in history. I felt really disappointed, by the way, yesterday. But then, like I said, one of the very revered journalists had explained that this time is bought. He was specific about the fact that so station charge about 6 million for those interviews. So if you ask the wrong question and then the person you're interviewing gets angry, your employer would query you or maybe even sack you. Kendi Okpe from Ijegun says, El-Rufai is not a serious person. He has lost relevance. Buhari used 8 years with his nepotism. Where was El-Rufai? Okay. He's indirectly working for Tinubu. Rivers State, I blame Fubara. When the issue started, he allowed himself to be used by aggressive Atiku camp who were urging and deceiving Fubara to move on, which we on the other side cautioned him to tread softly. On the Senate, either Natacha or Akpabio, none of them have the country's interests at heart. And when they were sharing budget money and padding budget to our detriment, on Obasanjo, he has lost respect since when Tinubu passed an additional budget for all ex-president and vice president. None of them rejected it. I kind of knew that this part of it would come up. Thank you very much, Mr. Kendi. John Benjamin says, happy birthday to Saidfa. More wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to him. My simple and honest question is this. Why are those power Wike is threatening people during campaign? What Fubara, okay, that Fubara is small, but mighty as a governor, and he will deal with anyone who look down on him or his office. So Wike is not afraid of the governor anymore because he's the Abuja governor. Okay, we're watching. Okay, more messages on Facebook, facebook.com/Mela98.3 FM. Let me pick your calls. Also read your messages. Hello, good evening.
Hey, okay, good evening.
You're welcome.
But it has been long I spoke with you.
Yes, so good to have you on the show today.
I'm Joshua. I'm calling from Agbado.
I know, Mr. Joshua. I know.
I greet Fawadu. Many more years to his age.
Thank you.
He will witness many more years in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Okay, do you know what I want to say? Nigeria, until we come and tell ourselves the truth, we are not going anywhere. It's not only the government that has the work to do. We are devils. In fact, we are the last people that God created in this planet Earth. Nigeria, for 60 years, we are still magma rolling on a circle. What is wrong with us? Why can't we do something that somebody will hear and say, yes, this person has even tried his best. Until we will have a change of heart, that is when this country will change. That is just my own take of it.
Thank you very much for joining us on the show today, and thank you for always doing that.
Yes.
Okay. 09136000410. Let me go back to Facebook. Okay, Sunday Noah says, okay, let me read this one. Congratulations to Saidfa for his new age. Mr. Wike is fighting with everyone in the country. Hope he won't fight his own master at the president very soon. Why didn't the journalists that interviewed him caution him about the use of words, ranting that weren't friendly on public TV? It's very unfortunate, but the light will keep shining against darkness. Prince Wise.
I had
to rush through my message so that your call will not cut because I know you've been calling since. Thank you.
Mr. Fuad, I greet you, I hear you. Manager, God bless you. And the power of your heart, more blessing for you all.
Amen.
Mr. Sport, answer me when you Mr. Sport now. Another thing for you.
Prince Wise, I'm with you.
You see, number one, what you say now, you just do tonic in my body. Because Nigeria problem, we are all informed. When you talk about corruption today, corruption starts from home. Look at some of us.
If somebody do a business, you embezzle money, you won't talk about it. So you talk about fake drug. 11,000 so was closed. In the federal state in Nigeria, nobody talk about it. Because we can talk another person's show, but we cover our own. And it's telling me, is it right? Look at the judgment of Abuja now. They say our judiciary is bad because justice favor them. If you favor you, we say yes. The judiciary is the last of a poor man. But if justice favor you, you scatter everything to the whole world. Look at that woman that went to United Nations to complain about our Senate president. Can those people arrest our Senate president? That they have the power to tame our Senate president. We are just we go abroad to give Nigeria a name. We have a lot to do in this country. Me, charity must begin at home. We are fighting corruption. It must begin from me and you and all of us. But some of us, look at that. We are talking of politicians. What are we the supporters? Are we not bad at them? In fact, I want to say something to Mr. Sport. Now, what you tell me, that 3 minutes you spoke, I just put down. Look at the journalist talking like a pastor. Look at the journalist talking like an imam. And that's what our imam will be telling us. Nigeria no good. Somebody's buying car now.
People are building houses legitimately.
Now. Nigeria no good. Somebody's roofing his house now. All those selling all those lands, they are not yet packing up. But somebody will come up, they say Nigeria enter one stand. And you pray for yourself, or you are praying for yourself for 4 years. Tinubu will come and go. Nigeria still remain. Good evening to you.
Prince Myers, thank you very much, and I really appreciate your position on the show today. The message is very clear. Like I said, things are tough, but every single day new properties are springing up. Car showrooms are springing up. Businesses are coming up. I understand, like I said. I mean, some of us even feel the pain even worse than the people on the streets. Probably we're just here, just to keep body and soul together. Sometimes, you're home after a long day, and the long day is not even the work you did. It's the amount of information you have to consume. And some of them are not even good. When was the last time you read any positive news from the pages of the newspaper here? So you keep coming over every day, how somebody stole money, how somebody, committed this crime and that crime is tough. It's mentally draining. But like I said, everybody's got different ways of handling issues, handling problems. But suicide should be the last option. In fact, it should not even be an option for you. It shouldn't be an option for you because you throw everyone around you into deep pains. Imagine your parent, your father, your mother receiving call that their only son or daughter committed suicide. It's tough. Like I said, walking away does not take the problem away. It probably even creates more problem. So you committed suicide, you left, and then your mother develops blood pressure, or she develops stroke or some medical issues, and then the remaining family will be mourning your death and still be treating your mom. It's a tough situation. I understand. But hey, ending your life does not take the problems away. You could be this close, and then it's said to walk away. Just give it a second thoughts. Don't commit suicide, I beg you. Hello, good evening.
Good evening,
Mickey, where is he? You have not joined me. You have not called me this week. What did I do you?
I've been calling and calling. I told you don't understand the traffic on the line. Right?
No vex. It's not our fault. We appreciate all of your efforts. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Thank you. So I'm receiving the greeting on behalf of Said Fuad.
Pardon?
I said I'm receiving the birthday greeting on behalf of Said Fuad. So let me receive the gift, the alert on behalf of Said Fuad too. Let's go on, Mickey Weze. Let's do this real quick.
Okay. The God created man. At a stage, God said He repented, creating man. That the heart of man is desperately wicked. Yeah. So now, from the creation of man,
from the beginning, the heart of man is wicked. So, like what you are saying about patriotism or no patriotism, let me tell you the truth. Why there is government is to make sure people are brought to align with good behavior. See, go to America, those who are ready to fake drugs, there are very many there. Those who are willing to do more than Nigerians are doing are there. But they cannot because they know there is punitive measure. They know they will never escape. And that is what we are talking about. See, what you are campaigning is very correct. But how many people will listen to that? It is until they commit an offense and they are handled the way they should be handled. You will see. Okay, like what you said some other time, some Nigerians, they behave anyhow here, even on traffic. But once they cross border to America, they become good people. They can't do those things that they are doing here. They can't do it there because they know they will not go scot-free. So what we are talking about is that we should have leaders who are ready to lead well, who are ready also to make sure that no evil goes unpunished. That is the only thing we need. Everybody will surrender. So I'm coming to the issue of Natasha going to ITU to report or whatever. If you look at the slam on her, that she should not parade herself as senator and this and that and this and that, and she has been suspended for 6 months. So, see, to me, it is a tactic to silence her. Because for 6 months, nobody will talk about anything about what she's accusing the Senate president of. She will be silenced without suspension. Before she comes out of suspension, everything will die down. That is the strategy, and she knows it. That was why she has to go elsewhere where her voice should be heard. I begin to hear Nigerians talking of the image of Nigeria. So we care about image, and we can election with connected data. It's funny. It's funny.
Is it?
We care about image. Question about all from top to bottom. People who are leading us. Please, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm enjoying the conversation today, though. That's why I'm always looking forward to Fridays so that we can have more time to engage ourselves. Because when we say we are blaming the government, somebody is protecting the image of the country. I mean, you feel somebody is embarrassing the image of the country. And do you know what it means to wake up one day and then splashed on the pages of newspaper that somebody awarded a contract over 1 trillion without following due process? Oh, so you think it's only the news that involves somebody reporting somebody that the international media is picking? No, that's not true. That is not true. Every single news that comes out of the largest black nation in the world, the 6th most populated in the world, the largest democracy in Africa, one of the largest in the world, gets the global attention straight up, whether negative news or positive news. Hello, good evening, Mr. Shola.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Ope.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Let me extend my greetings to Mr. Fuad.
Thank you.
I wish him a happy birthday and many more years in good health.
Thank you.
Yes, talking about Nigeria and, the state of affairs where we are right now and the happening, I want to generalize by saying that just like the last caller, he spoke my mind. The buck stops at the table of our leaders. Do you know that Nigerians are very good followers? And
exactly. Once somebody leads you well, I know.
Yes, look at African China song. Lead us where you understand. So if there are good leaders that can be emulated, there's a saying that he who must come to equity must come with clean hands.
True.
But what do we see here? We see our leaders filling the country blind, and there are no punitive measures. You see our leaders, you see politicians using the biggest cars, flouting the rules. They live above the law. So how do you expect the youth? How do you expect common Nigerians, I'm not justifying their evil actions, though, because all these ritual killings, all this 419, all this Yahoo, you understand? All these things comes down from what they see, because they know that once you have money, you understand, you are going to be praised to the high heavens.
Even the police that are supposed to be men of the law, they will subvert the law. So this comes down from our leaders. There's nothing no two ways about it. The Bible said righteousness exalted the nation, and sin is a reproach to any people. So we are just, another thing is that Nigerians are not sincere. And that is one of the major problems we have. We are not sincere to ourselves. Some of us that are calling, you understand? We are castigating. When it comes to issues of sentiment, we will not speak the truth. We see black, we call it white. Let's talk to ourselves. And when we tell ourselves the truth, then we'll be able to come together and do the right thing. Look at WK, for example, ex-city minister. You understand? Saying that nobody has a monopoly of violence. This shows the kind of leadership we have. Nigerians behold your leader. So if this waters down, we have a lot of work to do. I tell some of my colleagues, my friends, they say, God, I say, God is just looking at us. We are fooling ourselves. God has given us everything. We have made ourselves laughing stocks in the eyes of the world. And that is why you see all these leaders. It was not Trump during his time. He called us, was it shit? Oh, can you imagine? The way he's very outspoken. They don't respect us. All they care about is what they gain from us. They know, they look at us. They look down on us because of our character. You see, we will just continue to say all these things. We need to turn a new leaf. Even in our religious leaders, they have a lot of blame in all these things too. Somebody will come to church, bring money, bring title. You don't know where he got the money from. You give that person title. Let's look ourselves in the eyes and tell ourselves the truth. Oh. We are going nowhere with all these things we are doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You see, that religious conversation, I don't even want to get involved. I don't want to get involved. I've seen a few of those, and then you're like, hang on, from where to where? You know, a friend of mine was giving me a gist of how one of his friends donated air condition to the church. And then they gave him a deacon. And I'm like, hold up. This is someone that I know. He's like, not a mutual friend as such, but he's a friend to my friend, but I know. I'm like, wait, this person, like this same person, like that, we know what he does. I like, he donated that. So this person is now deacon so he said, yeah, I say, wonderful. Obi, good to have you on the show today.
Okay, Baba.
My friend, my brother, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Let me wish my wonderful brother, friend, happy birthday. One of the best journalists Nigeria has produced. Very straightforward and truthful. God will continue to bless him. I was thinking of something the other day about River State. Do you know that this man will succeed? Fᴜʟʟᴏᴡ. Ask me why. Okay?
Talk to us.
Do you know if these people have pretended, without jumping from one party to another and pretended to be in PDP with Fᴜʟʟᴏ, do you know that would have been teaching without problem? Right now, you understand what I'm saying? They rushed to enter APC and cause all this ruckus we're experiencing now. If they have pretended, I think they would have get it in a more serious way than what they are doing. Now for Weekend, whenever I look at Weekend, I remember Saddam Hussein in that hole when the court would be as like an animal. The Gaddafi, when he was read with that golden pistol, beating him like a baby. When I look at all those things, I look at Weekend. People don't learn from history. You should calm down. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Obi. Nobody rules forever. So when you have power today, what exactly do you do with that power? Do you allow it to intoxicate you? They say power corrupts and absolute power corrupt absolutely. But I've also seen people handle power with all level of decency and decorum. I've seen people maintain some calm head even with the amount of power they have. So when people say power, I'm always like, it depends on who is handling it. I know, depends on who is handling it. Okay. Wow. A lot of your messages here. Mike Moses says, good evening. Thank you for your good work. God will continue to bless you and the management of Milan FM for always informing us. That's from Mike Moses. This one says, good evening. John Bernardo, he says, happy birthday to Mr. Said Fuad. Do you know that the Rivers State House of Assembly has gone in on indefinite break? We can see who is the real troublemaker. Chris Nwalem says, the issue about Rivers State is getting more and more pathetic by the day. If anything outward should happen in Rivers State, Wike and the federal government would have a case to answer. For crying out loud, Wike has completed his tenure as the governor of Rivers State? Why does he want to burn down the state because of his selfish consideration? And why didn't the president reprimand him when he threatened that he would burn down any states that would interfere in the politics of the state? What is going on in this country? Is this how democracy is practiced in other climes? Why is we and the federal government making mockery of our democracy? May Nigeria survive these reckless shenanigans? Thank you very much, Chris Inwalem, for your text. Sunday Noah says, greetings to Said Fad on his new age. Mr. Wike is fighting with everyone in this country. Okay, I took this one already. Case Holy says, when is the Yoruba people now interested in Rivers election? Enginani is a Yoruba. No, come on, Case Holy. You surely know my position about stereotypes like this on my show. Don't text me like this again, Case Holy. I appreciate your messages every time. I always read them, but please don't bring this kind of sentiment on this show again. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Let me read more of your messages. Father Rebumio Moral says, I salute to my gallant brother in the house, Eyes on Moral, this beautiful evening. And we're wishing our gallant GM at Mainland FM, the civilian general, Laji Fuad, happy birthday to you, sir. And happy birthday to our female radio presenter, Lady Mo. Yes, yesterday was Lady Mo's birthday as well. A lot here. But I think July has many of us, rocking it down. James Chukwebumi says, my real concern had to do with the Electoral Act. Okay, with this Electoral Act, what do you think would be the difference between the previous elections and the 2027 election? And what about the election of Mr. President? Decided to tell one of his appointees, which is the INEC boss, to announce him as the winner. What would happen? You feel aggrieved and he goes to court. An outcome of the judgment can be guessed right, because the judiciary has been captured right from Buhari's time when he sent DSS to invade the houses of the judges who refused to do the bidding of the president. Ever since then, the judges dare not turn down the order of Mr. President, or he or she would have to face the music. That is James from Agbado Junction. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
I'm glad to have you join us today. Your name and where are you calling from?
This is Mr. Tony from Ojedbeja.
Okay, Mr. Tony, good to have you.
Yes, thank you. Okay. I'm hearing that country is not good. People are buying cars. Or people are building house. So because of that, people are building house and buying car. Nigeria is good in this time we do. Okay. As I'm here now, you remember accident that happened at Oᴘᴇýᴇ Bridge in 2021? You remember it?
Yes, the cars and cars got burnt and people died.
Yes, I'm inside that. I'm involved inside that accident.
Wow.
Since then till now, I stay 1 year and 8 months in route. As I'm talking to you now, I'm in the house. Since that time till now.
Okay.
I no go job. I'm not going anywhere. Then drugs that I'm buying, 12,000, 3,000. Now it's almost 50-something thousand. Almost a year and now I never drink drug. Then Prince Wise say that Nigeria is good because people are building house and buying cars. You understand? So if he make me be annoyed with him, I will swear for his children.
No, please don't do that. 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 Please don't do that. Don't do that. I understand. Like I was saying when I was talking about the issue of the suicide, I understand how times are tough. You know, every day you hear of one accident, this one unfortunate thing. Sometimes some of these things are absolutely avoidable. Sometimes because the government refused to fix certain public infrastructures and some things just happen and people just die anyhow. And because nobody is going to be held accountable, we don't have a punitive system of government where people get punished for atrocities that they commit. People get slapped by the wrist. I was reading the report on the book of Mr. President where he criticized the former President Muhammadu Buhari. And then there was something about why would Buhari pardon governors that stole money? Jolly Nyame of Taraba State, Joshua Dari of Plateau State. These people were sentenced after they were, investigated by the EFCC for many, many years. They were sentenced to prison for different number of years for stealing ecological funds that are meant to build hospitals, build schools, build public infrastructures, give quality life to the people of their state. They decided to steal it. And then the judiciary went on with the job against all odds and sentenced these two people. And less than 2 years or thereabout into their sentence, President Muhammadu Buhari pardoned them. And guess what happened? The people of their states carried Ankara and they went to welcome them. They went to welcome thieves. They went to welcome, I don't know. I sometimes try to understand how our thought processes are formed in this country. Somebody stole money from you, your commonwealth, and then he was sentenced to prison, and then he was pardoned, presidential pardon. And when he was coming back, despite the fact that it was established that he stole your money, you still carry clothes, you carry drum, you went to welcome them at the airport, you gave them royal entrance, and then they got into the state, and straight away, they started dictating who gets what politically. We're all enablers. Whatever our leaders are doing, we're enabling them, we're encouraging them to do it. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm very good. And you?
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm Dixon from Ayobo.
Mr. Dixon from Ayobo, good to have you join us on the show today.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Alaji Fag.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I keep saying, I said, Nigerians, we are the best people on earth. We are good followers, I'm telling you. And I also keep saying that if you witness Idiagbon's regime, I keep saying Idiagbon's regime, I know Idiagbon and Buhari, but it was Idiagbon's face that we're seeing. You will know that Nigeria is a country that you like. Just like other people have said, it is our leaders. It is our leaders. It is the less they take that we follow. Most people, you see, in those days, we don't have this corruption people, we're not hearing it. When the Diagbon came, he brought down everybody fall online. Nigeria was happy, we were happy, we were seeing the progress of the country. But the moment this man took over, what they call Maradona, everything got scattered. That's where we are to tomorrow now.
Thank you.
I know what is paining me up to tomorrow. That the present administration said it's from Awolowo's client. That's he created on the back of Awolowo. But look at what is happening now.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. I'll have to let you go. And I appreciate you. And I appreciate you very well. Well, that's about the size of the package. I just looked at the time and I found out we spent 90 minutes. But it's been constructive and informative, and that's the only thing you get on Mainland 98.3 FM. By 5:30, we'll have the Sunset News, and by 6 o'clock, I would come back for Sports Cruise, take you to the world of sports, 6 to 7 p.m., your number one drive time sports show on radio in the city of Lagos. Trust us. We'll talk about games to be decided in the Premier League this weekend. Of course, there's a Carabao Cup final from Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold, the Liverpool defender, have been ruled out of the Carabao Cup final on Sunday against Newcastle at Wembley Stadium. We'll talk about all of these and more by 6 o'clock. And of course, this weekend is the first Formula One race of the season. We're going to Australia and Melbourne. All of that by 6 o'clock. My name is 광광 Akin. I'll leave you in the hand of African China. And the title of this song is Mr. President. Stay safe and keep your dialogue only on Mainland 98.3 FM. Thank you for all of the calls and the messages. Apologies for the calls we can't pay. We'll continue on Monday, same time, 4 p.m. and same station, Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is 광광 Akin. Have a very beautiful evening and a very outstanding weekend.